looking very stunning.
To be honest, you're in flats, I'm in heels. Otherwise, we might matching height for a change.
Well, being able to wear those heels is a life skill in itself. So, well, props to you for that.
Yeah, that's true.
Kriti Sanon is here with us. She's had a spectacular year already, and we're only in March right now. So you've had Teary Baaton Mein Aisa Uljha Jiya. You have gone viral with your songs. You already have another film coming out, Crew. And you have managed to become an entrepreneur and producer as well at the ripe old age. I won't tell you what her age is, but let's just say she's fairly young only now. What are you on? Like, what are you trying to do over here? You are making 2 films just at the beginning of the year, and you're running a business on the side also. You're a producer also. What's going on with you, Kriti?
I'm basically hyphening everything to my life that I like, that I'm passionate about. And nicely plugging my brand in also. Yeah, I think I've always felt like there is no end to dreams. You know, you should just like find your passions, find things that you really love doing, and follow them, and hopefully make a career out of them, because that's when it doesn't feel like work every day. Every time someone used to ask us, you know, while we were growing up, आपको क्या बनना है, you know, आप बड़े होके क्या बनना चाहोगे, or even your occupation, you know, and you just have to normally fill one thing and say one thing. And I was like, why? You know, why can't it be many more things? Why can't I be an actor and a producer and an entrepreneur and maybe something else tomorrow? So I think, yeah, we kind of limit ourselves usually. And if we think and if we really love doing what we do, then we can just do whatever else we want to do in life.
So, are you going to add more feathers to your cap other than an actor, producer, entrepreneur, running hyphen? You know, we are in the middle of, I know you don't want to make political statements, but who knows? We are having so many people. You had Govinda joining the Shiv Sena today. Is that the next step that you're going to take?
See, I've never thought of that. I never think of like, okay, कल को मैं ये भी करूँगी. जब तक अंदर से नहीं आता है ना, कि ये मैं बहुत passionate हूँ, उसके लिए ये मुझे करना है, दिल से करना है, तब तक नहीं करना चाहिए. So, जिस दिन दिल में कुछ और नया आया करने को, तो उस दिन maybe next and something more. So one should keep like shifting the gear, as I say, you know, once in a while, and challenge yourself and do things that you haven't done before. But it all has to come from passion.
You know, I was reading about your, you know, your schooling, your college. Actually, when I was researching you, there was a PAP website that I came across, and everyone calls you engineer. Like the PAPs, when the paparazzi, they call you engineer pose for the camera.
Yeah, sometimes they say engineer Sanon.
Engineer San.
Engineer Sanon, like Kriti Sanon, engineer Sanon.
Engineer Sanon. So engineering, living in Patparganj, and then you get into Bollywood. Isn't there a time when you look back and you say, like, this looks impossible? You know, the Bollywood, which is known only for the families, the big names, you know, your star kids, and suddenly this engineering student from Patparganj. Like, Patparganj to yahi hai.
Yeah, I mean, बहुत पहले अगर मैं देखूँ तो, yeah, I had not really thought it would be possible. Or, you know, when I was growing up and I was 5 and I used to like copy Madhuri Dixit and see all her steps and just copy them.
चने के खेत में.
No, अखियाँ मिलाओ कभी अखियाँ चुराओ.
Oh, nice, yeah. Raja.
चोली के पीछे क्या है also. Oh, nice. Yeah, but I used to follow those steps, and you know, I used to love dancing. And तब कोई पूछता था कि बेटा आपको बड़े होके क्या बनना है, तो एक point था जब मैं बोलती थी actress बनना है. But वो फिर change हो गया, teacher बनना है, कुछ और बनना है, बहुत सारी चीजें हो गई life में. So I had never thought that I would be able to make it till here, but yes, I did dream big. Whenever I used to dream, it was never like, it was like, you know, I used to actually at a point dream of getting a debut film with Salman Khan, and I used to daydream about it. So my dreams were really big, you know, they had no control over them. There were people who would be like, you know, it's too big a dream, and there are so many people in Mumbai, you know, who've come from like nowhere and they don't have any connections, any, you know, like you said, family name. And it's very hard to make it because the city is full of people who some may be more talented than you are. And you know, how do you get there? But yeah, thodi kismat hai. I do believe in destiny. And the rest is definitely belief, which, you know, never lets you give up. I think that is, you have to be consistent and you have to keep believing in yourself and keep getting better at what you do. I have never really learned acting or, you know, I was never into theaters. I used to always choose dance over theater. So I never thought I could act till I started doing some TV commercials, which happened by chance. And I realized I liked being in front of the moving camera and I had that thing, that acting ka keeda in me. And I was like, okay, you know, I'm going to grow and I'm going to polish this. And with auditions, with, you know, working, I think that's what I used to, I think being an engineer, we ask a lot of questions and that's our way of growing. That's our way of, you know, finding all the answers. And I was a studious, nerdy kid, you know, and I used to really, even in my acting, even on my films, my directors used to make fun of me sometimes, कि ये तो बड़े सवाल पूछती है. But today I feel like, you know, that's the reason why I've grown. And I think you should never be stagnant and you should keep growing and keep getting better at what you do. Everything is around you. Just absorb, you know, and as an actor, that's what I did. So yeah, back then, that Kriti, I also didn't know if she would be here today, sitting in front of you, in front of all these lovely people. But yeah, never give up. I would just say that.
You know, the film that you're release coming up next, you've got like legends working with you. We were just talking earlier that it's almost like, you know, there are like 3 women who have been so successful in like 5-6 years apart. I mean, there's Tabu, there's Karishma, Kareena Kapoor Khan, and then there's you. What was it like to work with both of these ladies? You're coming on the back of your own successes, and they are also bringing a whole lot of their own, you know, history with them onto the film set.
You know, it was, I think that's what excited me, firstly, to be a part of this film, apart from the story. And of course, you know, the script is really funny and it's very, very well written in terms of every character is very well written. It doesn't happen very often that people write like, you know, equal strong parts for 3 women, belonging to actually 3 different decades, you know, and coming together and just doing a lot of fun and comedy together. Comedy is not written much for women, I feel. And this is one of the rare scripts that I came across. I've been a fan of both. I think they both are such powerhouses of talent. They both have lived their lives the way they wanted to, you know, not followed any rules. They're just so spontaneous and just so talented. And I feel that's what makes my performance also shine brighter. You know, whenever you have a great actor in front of you, it really, really helps you perform better. And this film is all about chemistry. It's all about the, you know, chemistry of the 3 of us and the madness that we bring together. And it was a lot of fun and actually a great pleasure working with both of them. Like I was in some moments, like, oh my God, I'm acting with Geet, you know? And in the other moments, Tabu ma'am would just like, I would be like, it would be hard to control my laughter because she just does something so spontaneous, you know, in between the scene which you don't expect. And that's her. She's magical.
And were there any conflicts? Because, you know, always we're told, you know, all these, especially, and this is, I don't know if it's a stereotype or it actually happens, but usually it's always projected, you know, there are rivalries, especially between the actresses, and then you've got 3 big names working together. How does that dynamic actually work?
You know, I don't understand why when women come together, we expect cat fights, and when guys are together, there's bromance. You know? I don't know.
Because I think nahi. I to feel like, I mean, women, when they talk, it's gossip, and when men are talking, it's facts. So I don't get this at all. It was nothing like that. In fact, I feel the 3 of us, more than anything else, used to talk about food. Because all 3 of us are foodies.
We've also posted some videos
Yeah,
of
there was
eating
that video
pizza.
of you guys eating pizza.
Bebo and
Did
I
you
were...
actually eat that pizza? Or it was
Yes,
just...
of course. Bebo and I were
can't be looking
literally
like this eating
competing.
pizza. No.
Bebo and I were literally competing in the number of slices, and she didn't want to up my slice because then she would feel guilty. So every time I would take a slice, she would take a slice. And we reached, I think, 9 slices. Yeah.
9 slices each.
Each.
Did you work out for 9 hours after that? It's impossible.
No, and it was really funny because the scene that we were doing next was when Tabu ma'am and Beba were supposed to pick me up. So they were like, "Tu kam kha."
So, do you find this? You've been in the film industry for over a decade now, right?
No, it's actually going to be 10 years now in May.
Okay, so 10 years you've
10
been
years,
here.
yeah.
Do you think that there has been a dramatic change? You know, earlier I remember even a multi-hero film used to be like, oh, ye to blockbuster aa rahi hai. But the women were always incidental. Maybe once or twice there used to be, a film written entirely for a woman. Maybe there was a Chameli earlier on with Kareena Kapoor, etc. But now to have not just a film revolving around a woman, but 3 women. What have you seen changing in these last 10 years from your personal journey in the Hindi film industry?
I think the kind of roles written for women are definitely getting better, stronger. I think there are also more number of films written where a female is leading the film. So, yeah, there's definitely been a shift and a positive one. The films doing the kind of numbers that male-centric films do is still probably not there. But at least people are taking the risk and putting their money on these scripts, on these films. And hopefully if the audience comes to the theaters like they do, then there would be a day where even women-centric films would be like bigger budget. But yeah, definitely I feel there's been more material. There's also been women choosing stronger roles and not wanting to do just the song and dance and be happy with it. Of course, you can also do that. I love dancing, but sort of mixing it up with doing stuff that you really, really dig your teeth in and, you really go deep into. So, yeah, there are characters, whether it's...
like Mimi.
Yeah, whether it's Mimi, the kind of character. But then it did come to me after 8 years, so I had to wait for 8 years.
Didn't you think it was a huge risk for, somebody who's just been in the industry for 8 years to play a surrogate mother? I mean, at that point, you want to be doing the glamorous roles, the meaty roles, and 8 years into the industry, how did you suddenly end up playing a surrogate mother?
I think I always find it exciting when someone challenges me and does ki ye to nahi karna chahiye, ye to nahi kar sakte ho, and I kind of do it. When I was doing Bareilly Ki Barfi also, people were like, you don't look like this small town girl, how are you going to fit into it? You're more of a glamorous urban girl, but that's how they'd seen me, So that was exciting to break the mold. With Mimi, there were people who were like you're saying, you're so young, why would you want to play a mother? And also, why would you want to do a film with, from such a small town? And surrogacy as a subject is taken as something very serious. So there were people and there were friends who were like, "Arey, tum to bahut arty ho gayi ho," And little did they know that the film actually has so much comedy and so much heart into it. And that's what attracted me to it. So I was actually excited because I was looking for something like that. I was hungry as an actor. I wanted a film where, I could have that graph of showing so much that I could do, I always say कि घड़ा जितना बड़ा होता है उतना ही भर सकते हैं. तो अगर मेरा कैरेक्टर मुझे इतना ही देगा तो मैं इतना ही कर सकती हूँ. अगर वो ज्यादा देगा तो मैं ज्यादा कर सकती हूँ. So I was actually looking for that ज्यादा बड़ा वाला घड़ा, and Mimi happened at that point. But I always believe that everything happens at the right time for a reason, for good. So maybe that film came to me when I was actually ready.
And look at the dividends it paid off to win a national award, again at such a young age. Congratulations for that, by the way.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
What was it like, when you're rubbing shoulders, winning a national award? Starting story is the most interesting. Your mother's been a professor, your father's a chartered accountant, and there you are getting a national award. What was their first reaction like?
I mean, when they got to know that I had won a national award, I feel like that moment when I told them was probably My most surreal moment, I would say, because the pride that I saw in their eyes, you know, those happy, watery eyes. I think every child wants to see that kind of pride in their parents' eyes. My mother was in a salon when I told her that I'd won a national award, and she firstly couldn't believe it, and she thought it was a prank. And then when she actually believed, she came like in wet hair, and she literally, I was in a meeting, and she literally came dancing like that, you know, and then we all celebrated with just like family and few friends. They accompanied me to the Rashtriya Bhavan, yeah, Vigyan Bhavan, when I won the award, and they saw me win it, you know. And that moment of them sitting there, you know, of me before my award came, I was constantly looking, kahan baithe, kahan baithe. You know, those precious moments are what you do everything for. So, yeah, that is something जो एक picture की तरह मेरे दिमाग में है, जो हमेशा रहेगी.
As an outsider, how different is your experience when you speak to your contemporaries now who have been, you know, maybe to the manner born, if they are, say when you speak to a Kareena Kapoor Khan, how different was your experience? Has it changed at all? We hear a lot of stories, or rather just read the stories of how people have struggled, etc. How difficult was it for you to break in?
I always believe that everyone has their own journey and their own pressures, you know. So my first film was Heropanti, which was with a star kid, Tiger Shroff. We both were getting launched together, but we both had different pressures, you know, where he had the pressure of being compared to his father. I had the pressure of, I hope people notice me and I hope people know my name, where people know his name before he's even launched. And I was like, I hope people do know my name at some point, and I hope I get my second film, and I hope I get my third film, you know, and I hope I'm here to stay. So there are different pressures that everyone goes through. I think eventually talent is what you know, sticks through. And yes, being an outsider, of course, it takes a while for people to know your name, to match your name to your face. For the longest time, they were like, "Arey, wo Tiger Shroff ki film mein aayi thi," you know, at the airport. That's how they used to address sometimes. The kids of Ashwini Iyer Tiwari, my director of Bareli Ki Barfi, they used to call me Tiger Didi back then.
Tiger Didi?
Yeah, because they didn't know my name. That's what I'm saying. It takes a while for people to register who you are when you don't come from a film background. But then if you keep at it, and once you do start feeling like an insider because you've done that much work, you've had a body of work that sort of justifies why you're there, you know, then it sort of is all the same, I feel. But those initial opportunities, those initial, you know, frustrating moments of not having the kind of opportunities in front of you that you really want, you know, those you go through. But then that's why I'm proud of the journey that I've had, because I know that it's not been that easy.
And you work with quite a few star kids. In fact, I think your third or fourth film was again with Varun Dhawan and with Shah Rukh Khan himself, Dilwale, right?
But Shah Rukh Khan is an absolute outsider and the best example of what insider-outsider debate we keep having. It doesn't matter eventually.
But what was it like? I mean, you know, you've had Heropanti, then your two films after that, you're doing a Dilwale, where you again have a Varun Dhawan and you have Shah Rukh Khan himself. How does it all feel? And at what point did you say, you know, I don't have to like prove myself anymore? Now I'm as much a part of this industry as anyone else. Was it the national award? Was it before that? What point did you think, I belong?
I belong wali feeling to aa gayi thi pehle, but this I've always been someone who wants to be known for my work, who wants to be known more as an actor than the star. You know, that's always been inside me. So I was really hungry to always find roles and prove myself and, you know, make people feel like, oh, I can act. You know, when they were like, oh, you can only do urban roles, do a Bareli Ki Barfi, do something different. Take up something like a Mimi, you know, which... So I think the validation that mattered to me the most was the kind which came कि अच्छी actor है, you know, अच्छा काम करती है. That mattered the most, and I have to say that post the national award is when that feeling really sunk in. You know, that's when I really felt like okay, now I've proved myself. Now this is the biggest validation ever. And now I can just have fun and do things that I really want to do and not worry about proving to the people. My audiences do love me. They've connected with me. हर तरह की validation आ गई है. तो बस अभी I just want to work and I just want to do the kind of work that I really want to do. Take risks, not be bound by, feeling like, oh, this is not safe or that's not safe or, maybe let's take the more taken path, So that's what happened. I think the National Award made me feel like, okay, अभी कुछ prove करने की जरूरत नहीं है.
अब हो गया, no more tiger.
Yeah, but I'm still the person who's very restless. But now I'm in a happy, restless space where I'm happy, but I still want to do more. I still want to push the envelope, find something else, surprise the audiences, do something that I haven't done before.
Nice. Looking forward to crew doing exactly that what comes of this happy, restless space. I'm being told that there are people in the audience who want to ask questions, so I shouldn't hog all the time. But before that, we had our viewers who have tweeted in questions, who've put questions on Instagram. I will take a first few questions from the people on Instagram. If you want to ask your questions meanwhile in the audience, please raise your hand. The mic will reach you. Just put out your name and a short question. So Varun from Delhi says, how do you view failure and what role has it played in your journey to success?
I think failure teaches you way more than success does. Success just makes you confident, gives you a lot of confidence to keep going and to not be afraid. But failure is what really teaches you what not to do, to be grounded, to not ever take your successes too seriously. But at the same time, I think the industry that I'm in, I've also realized that both failure and successes are temporary. They don't stay. So what happens after the failure and how you pick yourself up and how you get going again is what matters the most. The films that didn't work, sometimes made me a better actor because it was the journey that was what made me a better actor and not the result. So yeah, I think failures are important. They're important to bring you back to reality, to teach you a lot, to teach you to not what not to do, what doesn't work for you, and also sometimes it's okay if it's not worked, as long as the journey has been great.
Aman asks, what is your crew that you can never do without?
My crew that I can never do without. I mean, definitely my family I can never do without. But apart from that, my team. I am a total loyalist. I like having my own people and my own crew next to me, who've seen me go through my ups and downs. My hair makeup stylists have been constant for about 8 years now. So yeah, I really, really believe in my crew and my team.
Do you still have your Patparganj wala crew? People you still hang out with? And do they relate to you differently now? When you meet them now, is there a difference in the way you interact with them or it's the same old?
There are some people who it's the same with every time, and there's some people who you see change through, with time and who now behave differently with you and they treat you as the star and not the person that they used to know. But I think I like being in touch with the people who I feel like are still the same. I have two of my best friends from college who I always make a point that I meet them. This is the only trip that I've made to Delhi and not met them, and they will kill me, I know. But yeah, they've been exact same with me, through my journey. Their behavior has not changed one bit, and that's what I love. I love that our girls' night that happens is still the same. I'm still the first one to pass out, and nothing has changed.
What are the two things that you always do when you come to Delhi? Everyone has some things about Delhi which you can never get in Mumbai. They'll be like, the golgappe is not the same, or the chaat masala is not the... So what are the two things you're like, Delhi jaake ye do to karne hi karne hai?
I mean, I love having golgappas in general. So golgappas are my favorite. And New Friends Colony ka ek Albek shawarma hai.
Albek, of course.
So that I love, I love, which I've told my team also. I was like, how could you not make me have it this time? So when I'm going to the airport, I'm having that in my car.
Great. Well, Albek has got a advertisement from Kriti Sanon herself.
I always promote them. They should start sending me free shawarmas now.
They should. They should. Are there any mantras or philosophies that you live by? Says Sambhav from Jaipur.
I think the one philosophy that I live by and I genuinely believe is that everything happens for good. You know, I really believe in it. Things that happen in your life and the things that don't happen in your life are for a reason. So I feel like the films that didn't end up happening in my life were probably not meant for me. The doors that did not open were probably not meant for me. God has a better plan is something that I really believe in.
I have to say the viewers of Times Now are very intense people. Why is everyone asking such intense? Not a single fun question has come so far. All right. Bareli Ki Barfi is my all-time favorite movie. How much do you resonate with the role? Says Srijita from Kolkata.
The role of Bitti, right?
Yes.
How much do I resonate a lot with her mindset. She's someone who was brought up in a very, very different environment. Bareilly में छोटे से घर पे बट वो मन से जो उसके मन में आता था वो करती थी और शी यूज्ड टू रियली आस्क सम बिग क्वेश्चंस ऑफ लाइक यू नो अगर हम लड़का होते तो ये सब ठीक होता यू नो तो सिगरेट पीता है लड़का है यू नो इट्स ओके देर रात तक बाहर घूमता है लड़का है सो उसका जो ये माइंडसेट है ऑफ इक्वालिटी ऑफ व्हाट रियल फेमिनिज्म इज दैट इज समथिंग दैट आई रियली रिलेटेड टू
Okay, Kriti has to go and meet her fans and friends in Delhi. So I'll be able to take just a couple of questions very, very quickly, please. Very, very quickly. That gentleman there. Your name, sir? Quick question. नहीं आ रही आपकी आवाज. Is that mic working? बोलिए सर.
टीवी पे नहीं आएगा ना ऐसे ही बोल देंगे तो प्रॉब्लम ये है.
हेलो.
हाँ बोलिए.
हाँ मेरा नाम संजीव है. मैं एक छोटा सा सवाल पूछना चाहता हूँ कि जो हमारे देश में जो चल रहा है अभी के जो संस्कार हैं उस संस्कार से संबंधित जो आप कोई फिल्म बनाने वाले हैं जिससे कि जो बच्चे हैं आजकल के वो संस्कृति और संस्कार को और अच्छे तरीके से समझ सकें. क्या ये है ऐसा?
सर मैं तो बस एक्टर हूँ मैं सिर्फ एक्टिंग करती हूँ जो फिल्म बनाते हैं वो तो प्रोड्यूसर्स राइटर्स डायरेक्टर्स होते हैं तो मैं तो किरदार प्ले कर देती हूँ बस.
तो उनके सामने में आप कुछ ऐसा
Okay, note to all the producers and directors watching. Ashish ji here wants you to make a script and quickly get it to Kriti, जो कि वो आज के संस्कार से resonate करे. Very good, sir. Final question from that lady here. Very quickly, please.
Hi, good evening. Such a wonderful pleasure seeing the two of you, both of you on stage. Kriti ji, my question is, so you've seen all these, Bollywood actors, actresses, entering the foray of politics. I mean, obviously, we would like to see more, especially women, Bollywood actors to be at the forefront of politics. But do you think the janta in general resonates? You see all these glamour TV and then, politics overseas and ball game altogether. So do you think the public will resonate more with Bollywood people entering politics, number one? And number two, do we see you sometime in the future, being an active politician, hopefully? I mean, I know I'd love to see that for one. So
thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for the question. I don't know if people resonate with Bollywood actors. I think when you resonate with a politician in general, it should be the mindset of the politician and what the politician believes in. And what the politician does, So I don't think it matters if it's an actor or a non-actor. I think it's more the mindset that one needs to resonate with. And as for me, I would just say that as of now, there's no plan. And it's not something that I really believe I should be doing because I feel I should do something that I'm really passionate about and I feel I'm good at. And I don't want to risk all of you. So, no.
All right. On that note, if you ever decide against it, Kriti from Patparganj, you can reach out for any possible poll slogans. Thanks very much, Kriti. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so
joining
much.
us.
Thank
And
you.
best of luck. A round of applause. And everyone, please go and watch her upcoming film.
Thank you so
Looking
much,
forward.
everyone. Thank you. Thank you for being a lovely audience.
And thank you, Padmaja, for that insightful conversation. Deepthi.
I request all of you to continue to remain seated, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be marking the end.